The news hit Washington like a bombshell. A sitting member of the United States Congress, Representative Sheila Phyllis McCormick, indicted on multiple counts of conspiracy, theft of government funds, and money laundering. These are not minor ethics violations. These are allegations of egregious federal crime, striking directly at the heart of public confidence. The core of the accusation centers on the staggering $5 million allegedly pilfered, not from some abstract budget, but from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA. This is aid designated for the most critical moments of crisis, for citizens reeling from hurricanes, floods, and natural disasters. To divert such vital, life-saving funds for personal or political purposes is arguably the ultimate act of betrayal by an elected official. This case immediately leaps to the top of the white-collar crime spectrum, merging financial malfeasance with profound political corruption. The Department of Justice's decision to pursue a sitting member of the legislature signals an uncompromising focus on accountability at the highest levels of government. The federal indictment details a meticulously constructed, multi-year conspiracy. According to prosecutors, Congresswoman Phyllis McCormick and her co-conspirators allegedly exploited systemic vulnerabilities within the federal aid distribution process. The scheme involved the creation and use of several shell corporations, companies existing largely on paper, to submit fraudulent, fabricated claims for services never rendered or disaster relief that never took place. The $5 million was siphoned through these conduits, effectively disguising the source of the stolen funds. But the criminality didn't end with the theft. A crucial and politically explosive element of the indictment is the subsequent use of this money. Investigators allege the stolen FEMA dollars were then cleaned through a complex series of financial transactions, the act of money laundering, before a portion was directed toward illegal campaign contributions. This suggests a sinister loop, stealing from the public to finance the acquisition and retention of political power. The evidence gathered by the FBI and the DOJ's Public Integrity Section is reported to include extensive bank records, intercepted communications, and testimony from witnesses privy to the scheme's inner workings. The level of detail in the indictment underscores the significant resources committed to this complex investigation. The legal penalties for these offenses are severe, potentially leading to decades in federal prison if convicted on all counts. However, the political fallout is already immediate and dramatic. The indictment has fueled intense debate on Capitol Hill, with bipartisan calls for her immediate resignation. For the American public, the case symbolizes the deepest cynicism regarding government, the powerful taking from the vulnerable. This investigation is part of a broader, sustained effort by the DOJ to prosecute all forms of fraud involving COVID-19 relief and other federal aid programs. But the involvement of a high-ranking politician makes this a landmark case. It serves as a stark warning to all public servants that the misuse of taxpayer funds, especially those designated for emergency relief, will be met with the full force of federal law. This prosecution reinforces the principle that democracy's integrity relies on the strict enforcement of laws against white-collar criminality, regardless of status or title. The impending trial is set to be one of the most closely watched corruption cases in recent U.S. political history, shaping conversations about ethics, power, and accountability for years to come.